Right now, you are very likely running some kind of automation for your real estate business, like a reports that email you, a video that posts on the schedule, something that checks your numbers while you are out there with the client to showing houses.
But today I'm going to talk about one tool that we use for our business all the time, and there's many ways you can use this, but today we're going to really talk about Notions, because it's something many people get wrong, and they assume you have to do a lot of things with Notion, but really there isn't. We run 3 different automations depending on the job, and today we're going to talk about all 3 with instructions when we use Notion that can be read and refreshed every single time, so that they are pulled on a cron on a schedule and shared, and therefore you're actually doing what is locked into your automation on purpose.
Exactly. Picking the wrong one or either waste effort or build something that actually quite goes wrong, and you don't want it to do that.
But if you pick the right one and your automation is working correctly, it is super easy, and that is really what we're going to focus on and why Notions is a great tool for this. So who is this for?
And if you're a real estate agent that you're a few years in real estate business, closing 6, 7, 8 deals a year, pushing for more volume, more consistency, you have probably already built or bought some kind of automation, a follow-up sequence, a report, a posting schedule. That's what we wanted to talk to give you more insight that how you can.
And you
develop
probably
your
felt a
business.
little frustrated with the instructions and not understand what the instructions, and they don't actually follow what they are supposed to do anymore. So when you have 3 different ways to use your automation that we use Notion for, and there can be many more than this, we're just giving you 3 examples that we are definitely using as a source of truth. And you can see which one works for you and which one doesn't work for you. So let's talk about the 3. Now there's a mistake that many people make, and they think they start automating with AI and they put Notions and they think it always has to be something you pay for and it has to be always live. But it doesn't, and it shouldn't.
Exactly. We run, as we said, 3 different patterns across our own automation on purpose, because these 3 different jobs have 3 different needs that we wanted to talk about. Some automation basically need the absolute latest version of instruction, the second that you saved it.
Some run unattended overnight, where Notions is living in live, where its single run becomes an unnecessary risk. And some almost never change. This is something that's just staying in Notion because it's really directly tied to your automation as a reliable choice that is actually touching. And none of these 3 is correct for all systems, but the right pattern is what works for you. So you can see we do use it in 3 different ways. So let's talk about pattern 1, where you live it and it's every single run.
Exactly. The pattern 1, as my wife said, leave and run, is the one the most people picture. One of the most people picture, meaning that is leave and every single run. No? And the instruction for what an automation should check and what tone it should be using live as a page in the Notion and plain in English, and the same way you write a note for your assistants, basically.
So when this automation is run, it's reading the Notion, it's reading the fresh, live, straight from the Notion every single time. So when you have a system, it's reading the system. It's not a saved copy from when you first set up. It is the updated version that you're running right now. So every time you update Notions, you're getting the updated version. So if you update Notions right now, tonight, tomorrow, the next set of schedules are going to pick up whatever you changed in Notions automatically. It's not code, not devoid, but really it's understanding how we use it in order to make sure you see how your systems work. So in this system, the automation is reaching the Notions because it is reading your updated information and is needing that to be absolutely current. So it's checking your words on a daily, a weekly, so it's not last month's information. It's not a stale document that's sitting on your computer sometimes.
Exactly. The pattern 2 that we wanted to talk here is scheduling cache or shared by many. In this pattern, basically pattern 2 solve real problems. It's not like a pattern 1, because pattern 1 cannot solve the problem. And some of the automation that, for example, run headlines overnight.
Headless.
I'm sorry?
Headless.
And completely unattended and nobody's watching, and you don't want that run depending on the live call to another service, which basically succeeding at the exact second.
So basically, Notions is open, or Cloud is opening Notions, and it's putting smaller jobs so that it's on its own schedule and saving the snapshot right there on a live page, because that snapshot is going to be needed by something else later. And every single automation needs, from this stretch of time, reads that one snapshot or the last 30 snapshots, because depending on the tool that you're using, and it's all really being stored in Notion. So this really means instead of having 5 different or 20 different automations hitting different Notions, they can see all of what they're supposed to be, refreshed in its own cadence, and it's seeing in its own words how it's supposed to be working. And this really is meaning that you have automation reading the same local copy, so everybody is on all your agents are on the same page.
What is the trade-off?
It's not instantaneous, right? So if you have something that's running every 10 minutes, and you have something that runs every 20 minutes, that you have to wait for the 10-minute one to run for the 20-minute one, it can be confusing. You have to know your schedules for this one to actually work efficiently. So if you're running something at 8 and the next one's at 5, it's perfectly fine. 5 p.m., probably perfectly fine. The 8 a.m. job will finish. But if you have something that's going to be 10-minute fast and something delays it, your internet goes down, something like that, then maybe there can be a problem with that. So basically making sure if it needs the information from the previous cron or the previous schedule, you need to make sure that the automation has enough time frame to actually, get the information there. And if it's left unattended, it does need second by second, but you have to make sure there is reliability and efficiency, and your own servers work, really.
Exactly. Now we're going to jump on the pattern tree that is one of the kind that people don't expect, and is the opposite of the both pattern 1 and pattern 2. And some rules get defined in Notion exactly once and then get written directly into the automation as a fixed rule. For example, the caption format, a specific ratio, exact structure that you shouldn't change from one run to another one. And that is not a shortcut or a mistake.
Right, so basically this is your rule way, right? So the rules never change because 1 + 1 is always 2, right? So the math isn't changing on how you're supposed to do a project. So if you have a very specific rule, that rule is going to live there, and therefore it's not removing dependencies, it's not silently break because it wants to problem solve on its own, and it's not changing the names, it's not renaming things, and it's guaranteeing every single run is following this same rule every single time. And having that rule live in Notions is a great thing. Now, the honest trade-off worth knowing is that if your ever rule does need to change, you need to go back to editing all of your automation. So this rule has to be completely set, that can never change, because pattern 3 is deliberate, and this rule means that there is enough to bake in for the flexibility to keep moving. But it is the right bet if you do have a very specific formula that you need to work.
And basically, if you get it wrong, a rule that changed more than you expected, and it's basically the one that most likely quietly go out of the date.
And that's not a good formula.
It is not a good formula because nothing is checked again in this. Now, how basically Claude Code picks the right one for you, because we already gave you 3 patterns, and how Cloud can do that.
It really depends on your goal of the automation in and of itself. I'm just going to say that in plain English. So your goal, if you wanted to check how you want your instructions to change, how your Cloud, basically this is going to become the memory that you're having Notions check every single time. Cloud is checking the right connections. It's making sure that your Notions has reach run. There's a shared schedule or a snapshot that's there that could be left unattended. It could go haywire. So you don't want that to happen. Locked in rules mean that they don't change at all. And making sure all of this is put into your Notions account. And again, you don't have to pay for Notions really too much, because you're just using it for yourself in your own code and your own cloud automation. You're understanding your 3 patterns, and this is really where all the automation is going to come for on purpose, because you're telling it, hey, that document lives in Notions.
Exactly. Now we wanted to talk about the other half, the resolve write back as a permanent record. What is that exactly?
So basically, automation doesn't just land an email that you skim and you forget about. Basically, the same connection writes those results every single time in Notions. Maybe it's a table, maybe it's a database, maybe it's a headline, maybe it's the actual attachments the research that you're looking for. For in 3 months, you're not scrolling your email to find something that was there that you might have deleted. Everything is living in Notions, to where the rules and the information can live there effectively. And this turns 3 patterns into one off and having a really spot for all of the memory being recorded that you're doing in a nice, useful way that is on your thing. And this useful change helps you understand that your dependencies on your memory are going to be there. So what does this mean? Do you want to?
Basically, this means for you, if you're a real estate agent and you are pushing for more volume,
business owner, really.
You're a business owner, exactly. Pushing for more volume, consistency, this basically can build automation that stay exactly as current as they need to be. Live where it's fresh matters, cash where basically reliability matters, and locked in where stability matters. Therefore, instead of one grid setup that is either too fragile or too stayed, that's going to help you.
I'm just going to leave you with this information. Like, let's just hypothetically, you in the future want to switch to a different code or whatever. By having all of your information saved in one location, and it is saved in different ways that we talked about, the 3 different patterns, you can actually change a little bit easier to whatever it is that you want to do next. So if the next spruest thing comes up and it can connect to your Notions account, then you have all of your information saved. So it's like your online database for your business as how I look at Notions, especially with Cloud, because it can read and look at things and add things to my own account.
Exactly.
So if you are looking to talk about AI, and today I talked a lot about Notions, I don't get paid for Notions at all. This is not sponsored in any way. I'm just telling you how we use it every single day, because it is something that you need to know, because it is something for AI and in the future what you need. So this is a really basic tool, but it's something that's going to stick with you, because it's one of those things that it doesn't cost money. You can have a free account and you can use all of this information. It can be your brain for whatever AI you want to use in the future, as long as you're telling it to write it to Notions.
Exactly. We are Adam Victoria Pinder, Icon Agent with eXp Realty. The goal here is for us that make sure that you level up your business. Please go in the description below in the video and book an appointment with us and see how we can help you with leveling up your business. And don't forget to look at all of our playlists, and don't forget to subscribe in our channel.
And don't forget to grab my GitHub, where it's like basically it's a simple one for listing descriptions, but just to show you how automation works, and it's a great little fun thing.
And we'd love to connect you with you and hear your success story in real estate. And see you next time.